Before we begin, I invite you to join me in seeing life from a different lens for the next 15 minutes. Each of you in the audience should have been given a cotton round. Please place it over your dominant eye now. If you have glasses, you can place it between your glasses. And for those of you viewing this from home, I encourage you to participate in this activity through any way possible, including keeping your hand over your eye for the next 15 minutes. When I was 9 months old, I was diagnosed with a rare yet aggressive childhood eye cancer. I had surgery at 9 months to remove my right eye. Retinoblastoma is a rare yet aggressive childhood eye cancer that most commonly affects children under the age of 5. It kills 7,000 young ones each year and blinds many more, according to World Eye Cancer Hope. In developing countries, the cure is above 96%. However, most children experience moderate, severe, or complete vision loss. Globally, children, family, and survivors experience lifelong emotional trauma. Here, I will share the 3 steps I took to overcome emotional trauma. The first time I visited the ocularist office, accompanied by my mother, I was placed into a chair that was far too big for my small frame. The ocularist, who specializes in making artificial eyes, conducted multiple fittings, ensuring that the eye would fit like a glove. This process was both fascinating and slightly intimidating. This would become a regular occurrence with over 36 appointments spanning over the course of 18 years, and I would always experience a sense of discomfort, a sense of unease, a sense of curiosity. And on each appointment, I couldn't help but wonder if the ocularist would place my eye incorrectly or upside down, or would it tear the inside of my eyelid? At the age of 3, I wondered where my eye would go during these visits. Would it be examined, cleaned, or perhaps transformed in some other way? By the time I was 15, the ocularist showed me how to remove, clean, and enter the prosthetic eye myself. Now, I'm going to show you a video on what it's like to be at an ocularist appointment.
Okay. So pull up your lid real big, and then put it in top first. Hold on to the eye, pull the lower lid down. And then wipe it, always wipe from the outside to the inside, and that way you won't have as much chance of dislodging it, because if you pull here, this is your most elastic part of your eyelid. You see, that's how you take it out with no suction cup.
Mm-hmm. The ocularist's firm yet gentle hand would open my eyelid, remove and enter the prosthetic eye. And imagine all the headaches I received as a result of the stress and uncertainty that accompany these visits. And although these appointments began as care for my artificial eye, they transformed as I transformed and became more focused on the authenticity, independence, and resilience I developed as a result. Retinoblastoma was not something genetically expected by my mom or my dad, especially as the doctor told them that I was not supposed to live past the age of 5. It had given me the ability to not only see life through a different lens, but embrace this as a soft skill that allowed me to show others how to see life through a different lens with love, empathy, and compassion. First, I would embrace my own unique perspective. Second, I would foster and equip myself with the tools to foster the self-acceptance. And third, I would encourage others to see life through a different lens with love, empathy, and compassion. Grief is a noun, a distress experience after significant loss, as referenced by the American Psychological Association Dictionary. As a kindergartner, I was often seen as silent because I refused to engage with others. It was as if I acknowledged and internalized the fact that losing my vision and part of my hearing meant that I had lost 1.5 of the usual 6 senses, a huge part of the identity of any human being. My teacher suggested to my mom that she introduce me to some alternative methods of self-expression can not only help me process the grief and loss, but also give me different ways to communicate my experiences. My mother wisely introduced me to the world of photography. At the age of 6, a world of possibilities opened up when I was introduced to a Kodak Polaroid camera. And I couldn't help but wonder, right, as I captured each image with each click of the shutter, with my binocular vision, why I experienced such a sense of calm and a sense of ease. Through the camera's lens, I discovered that I was able to see the world's beauty through my unique perspective and share with others. Coincidentally, it was a photograph that my mother took of me that detected the retinoblastoma. One day, I mustered the courage to ask my mom if I was born this way, with a glass eye and all. She then showed me a photo of myself as a baby, seated in a swinging high chair with the South Florida sun casting reflections upon my pupil. It was this photograph that revealed the white glow that detected the tumor inside of the eye. Shortly after, I discovered my purpose. I'm going to use storytelling to unite people to see life through a different lens with love, empathy, and compassion. This newfound purpose of storytelling not only helped me to overcome the mental health challenges of being a childhood eye cancer survivor, but it ignited a deep desire to see life through a different lens despite the daily obstacles faced. This journey with cancer has brought me the importance of freezing moments, using the camera to freeze moments, immortalize my perspective, and, as Rihanna would say, we found love in a hopeless place. Mental health is a state of mind characterized by emotional well-being, good behavior adjustment, freedom from anxiety, disabling symptoms, a capacity to establish constructive relationships, and overcome the cope and stresses of demands of life, as referenced by the American Psychological Association Dictionary. Going from a public school to a religious school and changing schools almost every other year, while being a Black, Muslim, disabled woman, I've always stood out. One of the first things that most people noticed about me was my hijab, followed by my big hearing aids, and then my deep voice as a result of the hearing loss due to the radiation treatment. I was often the one being picked on and bullied in school. And we've all heard the phrase full eye because I do wear glasses. However, my first experience with bullying began with girls gossiping about me when the teacher was not in the classroom, not recess. But frustratingly enough, none of them cared to ask, why do you wear glasses? Why do you wear hearing aids? Or even understand the lens in which I experience life. So with all these challenges happening, things got a little difficult. Along with having speech therapists and guidance counselors, I had access to various coping mechanisms that helped me. One of them was a journal. By this time, I was avidly using this journal to express the feelings and things that I had going on inside my own little corner of my mind, my own sanctuary. But I also imagined a life where it was full of love, empathy, compassion, and creativity. According to the National Library of Medicine at NIH, 60% of adult women survivors experience social isolation. It is a common experience among childhood cancer survivors to withdraw from friends, family, and society. One of the other ways my mom and dad supported me at home with coping was by introducing me to the concept of prayer, reading, and understanding the Holy Book. And these methods taught me how to love myself, how to purify my own mind that resulted from the fears and anxieties and insecurities that resulted from the bullying. I was then able to shift my perspective and see life through a different lens and understand that these fears and insecurities were being projected upon me. They were not a reflection of my own. But this journey with cancer taught me the importance of resilience, understanding the power of the mind, and, as Justin Bieber would say, you should go and love yourself. Verbal advocacy is a noun, speaking or acting on behalf of individuals or groups of people to uphold their rights or explain their points of view, as referenced by the American Psychological Association Dictionary. By this time, I developed an unconventional approach to avoid social isolation and use the power of self-advocacy. By this time, I would talk to my acquaintances and I would introduce myself or share through little known fact that, hi, I have cancer in my right eye and I can't see you on my right side. This is my way of, one, explaining why I may not see anyone if they were to approach me from my right side, but also what I learned through practice with that vulnerability allowed me to create a protective shield, further deterring from more bullying. It also allowed me to be able to tell stories and talk to my friends, right? I was able to replace the hurtful comments with loving affirmation, with words and compliments and hugs, all throughout elementary, middle school, and high school. In the 7th grade, as I was strolling through physical education class with a friend, I dropped a bombshell on him. I said, guess what? I've got something to share. He laughed, assuming it was some juicy gossip, but nope, it was serious. I revealed I had cancer in my right eye, so I can't see you on my right side. In true brotherly love fashion, he switched sides and gave me a comforting hug around my neck and said, oh, I'm sorry, but I got your back. I felt warm and fuzzy on the inside for the remainder of the day. These experiences not only allowed me to share the lens in which I experienced life, it also allowed me to create connection using love and empathy. Now, while I was comfortable now with sharing this with friends and family, by the time I entered leadership roles and traveled the world, my lens was challenged yet again. Throughout school, I had to encourage students to speak up, speak slower, or communicate through writing. I had the opportunity to travel with People to People Student Ambassadors Program. It was a 2-week journey throughout Europe, starting in London, England, through France, and then ending in Italy. During this adventure, I faced some unique challenges. Due to the warm summer climate, my hearing aid battery would drain faster than usual, which led me to feeling like I was living in a constant earplug. It also led to dry eye and inflammation of the fake eye. I would also often misplace my hearing aid because we'd be moving too fast, moving from place to place, going to see different cities. And I would share my concerns with a friend, expressing my fears of missing out on the sounds around me. This was scary because I had to step outside of my own comfort zone, swallow my own pride, and ask for help. But in response, she kindly linked her hand with mine and kindly raised her voice as we strolled through the picturesque streets of Paris, France. Now, this journey taught me the importance of adapting, asking for help, and teaching others how to treat differently abled humans with love, empathy, and compassion. You may now slowly remove the cotton patch from your eye. You've just experienced this talk through my lens. Now, I have 3 questions for you. How has this experience changed your perspective? What step will you take to see life through a different lens going forward? How can you have more love, empathy, and compassion for those around you who may not live according to your lens? Invite others into embracing your perspective and foster deeper connections. Before you donate money to childhood cancer, donate your time with other survivors. Invite others into experiencing your lens with love, empathy, compassion, and confidence. I have witnessed firsthand what happens when we let our connections unite us and when we let our differences divide us. The former is the world that I want to live in. Can you help me capitalize on that? Thank you.